Welcome to today's explainer. So if you've ever looked at a beautiful floral arrangement and just felt this incredible sense of calm wash over you, well, you might have been looking at Ikebana. Today we're diving deep into Kado, which most of us know as Ikebana, the traditional Japanese art of flower arrangement. Now, this isn't just about sticking some pretty flowers in a vase. No way. It is a deeply philosophical 550-year-old art form that literally redefines how we look at nature, space, and beauty. Let's explore this fascinating subject together and see exactly what it can teach us. Here's our quick roadmap for the explainer. 1. The essence of Ikebana. 2. A history of floral art. 3. Major schools of Ikebana. 4. Essential tools for beginners. 5. 4 steps to arrange. And finally, 6. Experiencing Ikebana today. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the essence of Ikebana and the philosophy of empty space. To truly grasp what Ikebana is all about, we kind of have to shift our entire perspective. Think about a typical Western floral arrangement for a second. The goal is almost always to fill the space, right? You're packing a vase with lush blooms to create this massive, voluminous display of color. And hey, it's beautiful, but it's fundamentally about abundance. Ikebana? It does the exact opposite. It actually looks at the space where the flowers aren't. It finds aesthetic perfection in empty space, placing a huge emphasis on the elegant, natural lines of the plant material itself. It's not just about the flower, it's about the branch, the leaf, and the air around them. Just take a look at these. Notice how the literal absence of material in these modern arrangements creates such a striking visual impact? Rather than packing a vase to the brim, the artist uses just a few carefully selected stems. You've got these dramatic angles, sweeping curves of the branches, and that bold negative space in the background. It naturally draws your eye right through the composition. It's a perfect reminder that sometimes less truly is much, much more. Moving on to section 2, a history of floral art, 550 years of tradition. We can actually trace this practice all the way back to the 6th century, right when Buddhism was introduced to Japan. Along with the religion came the practice of offering flowers at Buddhist altars, and for centuries this was purely a religious act. But jump forward to the middle of the Muromachi period, so about 550 years ago, and a monk named Ikenobu Senkei at the Rakukuro Temple in Kyoto started arranging flowers in a way that went way beyond just a simple offering. His unique style became famous, basically establishing the whole foundation of Ikebana. Then, moving into the Edo period, the art shifted. It went from being this exclusive pastime for the upper and samurai classes to something everyday commoners really enjoyed, which sparked a ton of new styles. And by the Sho era, it had evolved into a highly respected cultural practice, widely taught as bridal training and featured everywhere in modern media. It is just fascinating to see how deeply ingrained this became in Japanese culture. Check out this ukiyo-e print featuring Kawasaki Ganjiro. Notice how it incorporates those beautifully depicted peonies right in the background? It shows that floral appreciation was literally everywhere. In fact, when Japan opened its borders in the late Edo and early Meiji periods, Ikebana was introduced to the West. And just as ukiyo-e prints influenced legendary Western artists like Van Gogh, the Japanese philosophy of Ikebana went on to totally influence Western floral arrangements as well. A real game changer. Which brings us to section 3, Major schools of Ikebana, diverse artistic lenses. So, while there are hundreds of registered schools today, the crucial point here is that every major school offers a totally distinct lens through which to view nature. First, you've got Ikenobo. They're the pioneers, holding over 550 years of history, with styles ranging from ancient natural landscapes to modern freeform. Then there's the Ohara school, which revolutionized things in 1895 by inventing moribana, a style using shallow, wide dishes to create these broad, sweeping landscape scenes. On the more modern end, you have the Sogetsu school. Founded in 1927, they basically threw out the rulebook, emphasizing utter freedom, breaking the rules, and total individual expression. You even have highly performative schools like Koryu Toyokai, which actually pairs the physical arranging of flowers with the traditional recitation of Japanese poetry. How cool is that? Okay, section 4, essential tools for beginners, a beginner's guide. Now, to actually begin your Ikebana journey, you really only need 3 foundational tools. First up is your kakiki, or vase. Now, this isn't just a container, it's practically part of the art itself. It could be a shallow, wide dish called a suibon, a tall compote, or even a deep pitcher. Second, you absolutely need hanabasami. Those are specialized floral scissors. They often have these distinct, beautifully curved tsurute or warabite handles, specifically designed to make incredibly precise cuts without crushing the delicate plant stems. Finally, you need a hanadome. Because we aren't stuffing the vase full of stems to hold everything up, we need a hidden anchor. This is usually a heavy base, like a metal kenzan covered in sharp spikes, or a circular shippo, where you precisely pin your branches to hold your exact vision right in place.
Let's get practical with Section 5, 4 steps to arrange, building a masterpiece.
I want you to mentally build this with me, step by step. Step 1 is shuzai. This is your main framework. You're going to take your 3 longest, most dynamic branches and place them to define the overall height and width of your space. Step 2 is haizai. This is where you add your secondary focal flowers, usually just 2 stems, to bring in that central burst of life. Step 3 is ashirai. Think of this as filler to fill the empty gaps with contrasting colors or textures, complementing the main pieces without overwhelming them. And finally, step 4 is nejime, which is absolutely crucial for a polished look. You add low grounding green leaves right at the base of the arrangement to visually anchor the plants and to cleverly hide that metal kenzan pin holder we just talked about. Notice how those 4 simple steps result in a perfectly balanced moribana arrangement here. That sturdy base of green leaves elegantly hides the mechanics, right? Meanwhile, those 3 main sweeping branches draw your eyes up and outward, cutting so sharply through the empty space. It feels alive, breathing, and incredibly deliberate. Every single leaf has a distinct purpose. Wrapping up with Section 6, Experiencing Ikebana Today. Tradition today. Now, Ikebana isn't just something kept locked away in museums or elite classes. The Japanese government actually actively promotes an initiative called Hana Aiku, which translates to flower education. It's this beautiful concept pushed by the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries. And the goal? Well, it's not just to teach kids how to make a pretty craft. It's specifically designed to nurture their emotional development, teaching them gentleness, patience, and a deep appreciation for living things through direct, hands-on interaction with nature. You can see right here how middle schoolers across Japan bring in local, highly skilled Ikebana experts to teach students these exact traditional skills right in their classrooms. It's such an amazing cross-generational exchange. These students aren't just learning to cut stems, they're learning spatial awareness, respect for tradition, and mindfulness. It's a wonderful way of passing the torch to the next generation. And hey, if you want to experience Kagori yourself, there are endless avenues today. You could visit world-class museums like the Moa Museum of Art in Atami, or dive deep into the centuries-old archives at the Ikenobo History Museum in Kyoto. You can attend incredible kids' traditional performing arts recitals where hundreds of children showcase their hard work. Or honestly, best of all, you can simply find a trial class near you. Because there are so many distinct schools out there, you can totally find a style, whether it's strict and traditional or wild and free, that perfectly fits your own personality. So I want to leave you with this final thought. We live in a world that constantly tells us to add more, right? More noise, more clutter, more volume. But Ikebana teaches us the radical power of restraint. It shows us that beauty often lives in the silence, in the breathing room, in the spaces in between. In a world obsessed with filling every gap, how will you use empty space to bring your next creation to life? Keep this question in mind, not just the next time you put flowers in a vase, but as a fascinating new lens to view your art, your living space, and the whole world around you. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.